All right. So I wanted to make a quick kind of announcement because I actually got a comment on this recently and it brought this back to my light that I probably should talk about this a little bit. This is kind of another update video. I realize I should probably be making this because some bad things are kind of going on behind the scenes with the studio. It's good and bad news, I realize, this update. So let me get straight into the we'll start with the good news so I can kind of get that out of the way. And this is mainly a developer update. Solo games are going fine. The game's being developed by me on both Unreal Engine through Creative and Roblox Studio. Sorry, my brain turned off for a minute. Those games, the solo developer ones that are just being done by me, are not going too bad. However, games now for the bad news, which is going to be a good chunk of this video, and the aftermath of that. The game's being made by the studio. There's a bit of a different story. Due to some issues, I've mainly with the falling out of the team, it's not that we're not friends anymore or anything. We're actually all still good friends, but we realized that what we wanted to start as a vision is starting to fall apart. It's not what we wanted it to be anymore. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just, I think we're all growing up, the best way to put it. Which hurts, yes, but we realized it's necessary. We've lost all of our coders, and the only two members left from the team, well, three, are myself, Adrian, who's our animator, and another friend of mine who's also a YouTuber, who is our map designer, or his Roblox username, Boss. We've lost practically most of our team, which I know doesn't seem like a lot, but Xavier was a big hand in the team. And although I've picked up in the code, I was the one who ended up finishing Sacrifice. I can't seem to understand. He did some things that I feel if I mess with his code could possibly break Murder Mystery Plus. So, to break the bad news, Murder Mystery Plus will most likely stop receiving updates from this point forward, which I know for some people really hurts. And it is a pretty sad update. But the problem is how Xavier built the game. If I were to rebuild it myself from scratch, it would cost me having to. Well, if I tried to update the game in its current state, it would cost me having to practically rebuild the entire game from scratch. So, although it's not how I wanted things to go, I realize it's probably the way things will have to go. I will still update the game in the sense of what's the word I'm looking for? I'll still update the game in the sense of bug fixes and like fixing bugs, but no new like content updates or seasons will ever to be. Murder Mystery Plus is pretty much being killed in cold blood. It's a game we've worked on for a while, but a lot of behind the scenes problems have caused the game to probably no longer receive updates. Um, it will probably be shut down. It won't be shut down actually. Servers will still remain up, but there won't be any more updates. But there is some good news in this. Sacrifice will still be receiving updates. However, all of the rest of the team titles, the group will still stay forged. However, most of the team titles now will probably be done by just me and Adrian because we're the last two members that have like genuinely are left. Well, I'm not saying Boss doesn't do anything. Let me rephrase that. We're the last three members. Although we've lost a good chunk, our probably our best coder, and I'm having to pick up. Our games will now take either double the time they're already taking, or they will just fall under my name now, my Roblox user now. In other words, the group is practically disbanded. However, the good news in this is the games aren't canceled. Most of the games, there will be a few that are possibly being dropped, will be finished by probably just me because Boss and Adrian are busy with stuff. Well, actually, they actually left. Though they didn't leave. I'm not wording it properly, and I don't know how to word it, but it's practically just me left. And I will be the ones to be finishing the games. However, due to me taking over, a lot of the games will have longer periods. So like when Thalassophobia, which is one of the games we're working on, an underwater FNAF like game, was set to release this year, next year, early next year to late this year. However, that is likely not going to happen. All future games have been delayed a good chunk of a while, and MMP will no longer be receiving updates due to the team splitting and the fact that I don't want to mess with what Xavier's already done because he did things one way, and I feel if I'm to take over and do things another way, it could destroy the game as it already is working. And rather leave it in a functional state. I'm kind of jumping all over the place, so this is my fault. But I'm also recording this half awake, if you know what I mean. You can look in the bottom right and see the time. Anyway, I do to quickly just recap everything I'm already kind of saying. MMP is not to be shut down. It's no longer to receive updates. All games being developed by the studio are not going to be under the studio title, as the ones that already are, like MMP and Sacrifice, will still remain under the GMG Gaming Studios name. However, all like Kids World, which is one of our biggest games, and stuff like that, is all going to fall under my name. Not saying Adrian and Boss will not work on them, but due to how the group is formatted, and it's better that I do it under my name. That way, I'll still give credit to them. Not saying I won't do that. But the way Roblox Studio is set up, it's easier to do it where I just add them under and just credit them in the game description, but have it under my name instead of under the group name, as due to some stuff, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and also or not formatting, but just getting them to join. We've had a lot of connection issues with the group. So if the group goes silent, it's not that the games are canceled. I'll still be making updates in the group on the game, but they will not be on the group display page as they will be under my personal Roblox creations. Now for the Unreal Engine games. Those are perfectly fine. Those games have always been just me and like maybe a friend or two helping out if I need it. Those games have always been me. Due to some slight TOS changes, not in a like just some game stuff. It's a long story, but to summarize, those will still be finished, but it'll take a bit. I'll have to republish them, and that'll be a bit of a process. So if you can't find those games on like Fortnite and stuff, it's not that they're gone forever. It's just that I need to republish them, and that's been a process of its own. Um, I think that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. Remember, I just want to repeat this. Murder Mystery Plus is I'm not con it's I'm not it will not receive any more updates other than bug fixes. Sacrifice is not it will still receive updates. That game is not done. Thalassophobia and the other games are not canceled, but they are to be under new management. That's the best way I'll put it. Anyway, that's about it. I will see you guys later. I don't really have an outro, so. But yes, yeah, it's been a lot. Anyway, I'll see you guys.